Good afternoon. Today we are doing PO17. I can solve equations using multiplication and division. So the first thing we're going to look at is those different ways that we can solve. Yesterday we were looking at some different ways. Today we're going to look at different ways to solve the equation again. So solving an equation with multiplication or division is like addition or subtraction. Let's walk through our three methods again. So we have our logic. If it's 8n equals 32, we can write that as a question. We know that the number right in front of our variable means we're multiplying them together. We don't see the operation listed. We just know if it's right next to it, it means multiply. So our question could be 8 times what number is 32? So if we just know our math facts, we know 8 times 4 is 32. So sometimes you just read the question out loud. That is your logic, putting it as a question. Then we have our opposite operations. The opposite of multiplying by 8 is dividing by 8. Dividing both sides of the equal sign by 8 will get the variable by itself. Yesterday we were adding or subtracting to get the variable by itself. Now we're multiplying or dividing. You do the opposite. So if we have 8n equals 32, we're going to divide by 8 and divide by 8. So 8 divided by 8 is 1. We don't have to write a 1 because 1 times anything is going to be the same number. So n equals 32 divided by 8, we know is 4. So then we have our fact families. Remember these? Write the fact family below and identify the most useful fact. So we could start with 8n equals 32, or we could do n times 8 equals 32. Because it doesn't matter which way we multiply, it's going to equal the same thing. Then we need our dividing ones. 32 divided by n equals 8. Or we could have 32 divided by 8 equals n. Which one is going to be the most useful for us, Colin?
Probably the last one.
The last one, 32 divided by 8 equals n. N is already on its own. It's by itself. So we can just solve it because the n is alone. So using that fact family can help us get to where we need to be. So just like yesterday with our adding or subtracting, we're going to use two methods with the multiplying or dividing to see if we can come up with the same answer. And then when we get to our work page, you just pick which one is more comfortable for you. So let me scroll up. Oh, it scrolled a little too far. All right, so let's look at the two different ways that we could solve 9n equals 90. What is one way we could solve that? Caitlin?
Divide both sides by 9.
We could divide both sides by 9 because right now we're multiplying by 9. So 9 divided by 9 is 1, so we could just write the n. 90 divided by 9 is 10. So we have n equals 10. What's another way I could solve this? Maddie?
You could do the fact family.
Yeah, what would be a good fact family for us to do?
90 divided by 9 equals n.
90 divided by 9 equals n. Part of our fact family. And we know 90 divided by 9 is 10. So let's look at n divided by 5 equals 9. How would I solve this one? Paul, what's one way?
Use the logic.
And what would the logic be?
5 divided by what equals what?
Is it 5 divided by something?
Or n divided by 5.
So we would say a number divided by 5 equals 9. So what number? Because it should be a question. What number divided by 5 equals 9? So you can just ask the question of yourself, what number divided by 5 equals 9? What's another way we could, well, could you answer that question, Paul? What would your answer be? What number divided by 5 equals 9? 45. Let's see if we can solve it a different way and if we get the same answer. What's another way we could solve this? Edward. Yeah, if we do that fact family, what would be the most useful fact family to do?
5 times 9.
5 times 9 equals n. We know 5 times 9 is 45. So that's using that fact family. You're going to do that last one by yourself. And the back side, remember, on this front side, you want to do, this first page, you want to do 2 different methods. Then on that back page, find the method that makes sense to you. Okay, use that. It's not just mental math. Show me what method you're using. Don't just write an answer. Show me your method, and then write your answers. And with that, we are going to say goodbye to our friends at home.